because what we're doing is very big. We're bringing wealth back to America. That's a big thing.
Is a short squeeze coming? That's what we're going to discuss in today's video. Over the past few weeks, we've witnessed significant shifts in the stock market. Since February 19th, the S&P 500 has erased a staggering $5 trillion. Okay, that's trillion with a T, marking its most one-sided move since the 2022 bear market. Additionally, total put option volumes have surged to over 30 million contracts in just the last 5 days, which is a record high. So this raises an important question, and the whole point of this video is a short squeeze on the horizon. So let's break it down. So this chart right here is showing that record high that we just talked about. This is U.S. total put option volumes. This is a record. I can't state this enough. This is insane volume, you guys. So in just 14 days, the Nasdaq 100 has actually plummeted by 12.5%. And to put this into perspective, the S&P 500 was trading at all-time highs just less than 3 weeks ago. So such a rapid and one-sided decline is rarely sustainable over the long term, suggesting that this short trade might be getting overcrowded, and I'll show you why. So if you take a look at this, leading up to this decline, institutional positioning actually showed these shifts in these two red circles. So heading into 2025, hedge fund exposure to the Magnificent Seven, they fell to a 22-month low. So this created a significant divergence between the Nasdaq 100 fund positioning, and it's similar to these patterns observed before the 2022 drop, which we can see right here. Okay, so we see this divergence right here. We see this pattern right here. Are these two going to cross again? And does this mean that we're going to see an upside in all this? So this recent data actually shows a change in sentiment, okay? So this is basically showing you net non-commercial futures positions of open interest. So this is basically saying that hedge funds have turned net positive on equities over the past week based on the S&P 500 futures position. You can see that where that red arrow is on the right-hand side of your screen. So this is the first such occurrence since the lead up to the post-election rally in November of 2024. But if we go to this next slide, you can see that it's also taken a bearish turn in sentiment. We're at extreme fear that was taken on March 11th at the time of this recording. So this fear and greed index is now approaching levels similar to March of 2020. So historically, markets, they struggle to maintain extreme sentiment levels. So whether it's extreme fear or extreme greed, this is showing the importance of sentiment in driving market dynamics. And if you guys are looking for an insurance policy, if you are extremely fearful, check out today's sponsor, JM Bullion. At the time of this recording, gold has outperformed the S&P 500 by over 20% over the past year. I buy all of my gold, bullion, and precious metals from JM Bullion and have been doing so for 10 years. I allocate a percentage of my net worth to gold and think of it as an insurance policy on the rest of my portfolio. So during times of unprecedented money printing, gold is a smart choice to preserve your purchasing power. JM Bullion is one of the biggest precious metals dealers in the United States with over $11 billion in precious metals sold and more than 6 million deliveries completed. They have over 400,000 customer reviews with an impressive average rating of 4.8 out of 5 stars. So join millions of satisfied customers who trust JM Bullion the same way I have for 10 years now. Make sure to use my link in the description so they know I sent you. Happy stacking. The interesting thing is, however, President Trump has actually expressed support for Tesla. We'll be talking about Tesla later in this video, stating that he plans to buy a brand new Tesla as a show of confidence and support for Elon Musk, aka the actual president. So this marks his first public endorsement of the market amid its current downturn. But if we keep going, he was asked by Maria from Fox News. President Trump actually refrained from making definitive predictions. So he acknowledged possible short-term challenges, but expressed long-term optimism. So his recent support for Tesla, which I just showed you, could actually signal a potential shift in market sentiment. Check out the clip right here.
You inherited a mess, and you said that the other night.
I've only been here.
But are you expecting a recession this year?
I hate to predict things like that. There is a period of transition because what we're doing is very big. We're bringing wealth back to America. That's a big thing. And there are always periods of, it takes a little time. It takes a little time. But I think it should be great for us. I mean, I think it should be great. It's going to be great ultimately.
Okay, so you heard it there first. So the thing is with crypto markets, they're often seen as sentiment indicators, okay? We can take a look at this chart right here, but they're mirroring this volatility, okay? So last year, crypto markets experienced extreme greed, but now they've swung into extreme fear. Today, both tech stocks and cryptocurrencies are showing signs of recovery, which I can show you on this next slide right here. You can see that, these things are basically up. This is basically up. You got Bitcoin rebounding over 80,000. It was at 109, just a few months ago, but it is what it is. So if we take a look at major tech stocks, they actually constitute over a third of the S&P 500. They've entered deep bear market territories, if you look at this chart on the screen right now. So Tesla's dropped 50%. I remember when it was just trading, above 350 easily just over the past couple weeks. Now you can see where it is at the time of this recording. And then also a relief rally in these magnificent stocks could potentially drive a significant rebound in the S&P 500. So that's what we're trying to get at with this potential short squeeze. Is it coming? I have no idea. But we can see that the market cap of the Magnificent Seven as a share of the index total, again, is 1/3, its highest ever. And you can see that long Magnificent Seven was the most crowded trade based on the Bank of America Global Fund Manager Survey. It's 71%. That was dark blue of July 2024. Light blue is June of 24. And then gray was May of 24. So super overheated. So in summary, the market currently reflects this. We have global tariffs and recession fears. Hopefully those are being priced in. Extreme fear in both stock and crypto markets. We have polarized short positioning, okay? Major tech stocks are deeply discounted, and then potential shifts in political sentiment. So once we combine all this stuff together, hopefully it's a market reversal, right? It seems like it'll be imminent, but as always, it's crucial to remain vigilant, informed, and prepared for potential shifts in the financial landscape. So with all that being said, my thoughts are basically, is everything getting cooked right now? Absolutely. If you looked at my last couple of videos, I have that crying Jordan face saying live look at my portfolio. It's what it looks like. But at the end of the day, if you dollar cost average and you're in it for the long term, this shouldn't be shaking you. If you're getting shaken out right now, that means you're either too much skin in the game or too much of your net worth is in whatever is getting shaken out. And obviously this video is about equities, some about crypto as well. But at the end of the day, again, sleep well at night. You should only have these asset classes as a percentage of your pie. So again, if you have 99.9% of your wealth in, Tesla, then yeah, you're crapping yourself right now. If you're in broad diversified index funds, you're still kind of crapping yourself, but not as much as the single shareholder of Tesla, right? So just remain diversified. That's how I invest. And then also don't have your pie slices any bigger than what would prevent you from sleeping well at night, if that makes sense. So hopefully you got value out of this video. Please share it with a friend, comment, hit the bell notification. And as always, have a prosperous day.